Okay, so my parts came in, so I'm going to jam this thing back together. I pulled the bottom shaft apart already. I got my press back from Vern just because I was curious. I don't know if this can make it out. Yeah, there we go. You can see the wear marks on it on the low range gear. You can see it's pretty. Make it, put it down here. Oh, that's worse. See, it's pretty wobbly and noisy. It quietens up here, but that's not where it rides. So I'm gonna think about, well, I'm gonna price out a new shaft and gear, but I think it's gonna be quite a bit. I bet you this little shaft is probably, if they still even make it, I don't even want to guess. So it might be going back together. We'll see. But yeah, a couple of bearings. They are different on either side, just, yeah, so you can't really mess them up. I priced out a new gear and shaft, and it was going to be about $600 Canadian. And I don't feel like spending that money, so I'm going to put it together and hope for the best. This is the intermediate shaft. This is your low range gear. This is your reverse gear. Or, actually, sorry, this isn't a gear. This is a sprocket. This is your other low range gear. Alright, let's get her apart. And this is going to get a little western. Oh well. That took a whole 1 ton of force. My special press adapter here. This one. Now normally I wouldn't be this sketchy, fucking might tighten this shit up, but it takes like 0 force to push these out. Okay, so here's the intermediate shaft. It has your shift fork for low range. This is the only low range gear that can free spin on the shaft and engages with the shifting fork. Low range. This is your reverse sprocket for the chain. It locks in. And this gear is also for your low range to transfer over to your bottom shaft, and it's fixed on the shaft. I think these might be too big. And that'll work. Yeah. Flunk. Alright, I think there's a spacer there, yeah. There's one. Bearing. Spacer. Now one of these, I think, maybe it's on the other one. Yeah, there was a thrust washer. So my smaller pairs, my kit must be at my house or it's in my work truck. It's not in the shop, so it's small enough. I was able to use a pick, get under there and pull it off. Not ideal, but it worked. Spacer, gear. Another spacer, no. Alright, so this one comes from this side. Let's see if I can do the same trick on this one. Ooh, just about became a meme. If I quit moving. See, this is where it really helps to have the right tool. You don't have to do stupid shit like this. Because this is really dumb. Not sure why I'm doing it. Alright, I think this is a sign. To go get the right fucking tool. Let's try these big ones again. Come on, just fit in there a little bit. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I think this is the thrust washer, maybe. Man, there is washers everywhere on this thing. Voila! Alright, so there's your intermediate shaft disassembled. And when I go to put this back together, I'll have the parts list and breakdown. I'll probably review those videos a little bit, because I'm thinking if you mess up on these spacers, I'm thinking if you mess up on these spacers, the bearings that go in here, I'm pretty sure these are like the cages for them. Yeah, see? Mess these up, your bearing will walk out, and then you will have some problems. You'll be walking off the lake is what you'll be doing. Alright, now the top shaft. So this one has your low range gear. So this is your input from your clutch. This is high range. And the shifting fork, reverse, and low range gear. So yeah, sprocket gear. I already pulled off the bearing, had a spacer. Now this fits pretty snug. That's okay, that's what you want, not like that other shaft. Get this clip out of here. See if I can do it with this big ugly pair. I don't know if I can. Come on, baby. Oh, so close, so close. Yeah, nothing sketchy about that. Oh, sure. Oh, another bearing. I missed a bearing. Son of a bitch. Maybe it comes with those other pieces. Hopefully it does. No spacers or nothing. Another snap ring. Yay. I think I'm gonna, when I go to assemble this, well, no, who am I kidding? I was gonna say I might go buy one, but I probably won't. This one's here. If you just kind of jam them in there first, at least one of them. They seem to work okay. Not great, but okay. Try this. I don't really want to do this. So you don't want to do this on this part here because it would put big scrapes in it, but the gear I think will be okay. Or not the gear, the splines I think will be okay. Alright. So I'm really hoping, I can't remember, but it was one, I think it was this one. I had to buy a couple of pieces with it. I think it was all these, but I can't say for certain. Alright, well that's a wrap for today. I got the entire gearbox disassembled. I got the shafts all disassembled, all the bearings, sprockets. I got the shafts cleaned up. So now is assembly, but I gotta go home and shovel some snow. Yeah, the never-ending story. Alright, so it's the next morning. I got all my pieces cleaned up, so we're gonna start the assembly. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah, this is probably the easiest one out of them all. It don't have too much for fucking bearings and spacers and thrust washers. So I got the bearing pressed on with a spacer. As you can see, still pretty loose, but I'm looking at it here, and these gears are designed, or this gear and this sprocket are designed to kind of float on this shaft. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no way it wore, I don't know if you can see that, it's like maybe 15 thou into this gear just from going sideways. So it is quite a bit of play, but I'm hoping it'll float nicely. It'll all be full of oil and stuff too, so we shall see. There it is. Still pretty clunky, but okay, we got the intermediate shaft. This one has another low range gear and the low range selector, as well as the reverse sprocket and chain, and it also can freewheel on the shaft. So yeah, I got new thrust washers, needle bearings for the two gears, or the gear and the sprocket, new sprocket and new bearings. So now the big question, which clip do you think it is? Let's have a look here. Alright, so that one's the biggest, obviously. And then I think another one goes here, this big thick bastard. So yeah, that leaves this one. Well, you get to watch me struggle with the pliers that are too big. See, maybe going on will be a little bit better. Should be able to start it first, then we'll put it on there. Ow! Okay, that ain't working. Where the fuck? Slide her down. Okay, now I gotta look at the diagram because I can't remember. Oh, maybe I'll give it a little bit of all-purpose. Something. The other thrust washer. Now the big clip. Alright. Yeah, so I had I had that thing in like this. Wrong way. It was this way. There we go. And then this. I don't know why, but they call this just a washer, but on the sprocket they call it a thrust washer. I'm not sure where they see the difference. Here we are, back together. Okay, got the input shaft ready to go. That guy on, and then I think this one was the one that was a bitch. Maybe it was the easiest, I don't know. That guy, this guy, this gear. There's a washer, nope. This obviously can't go on there because how's it going to engage? Yeah, it must. Yeah, it must go on like that. This bearing is discontinued, so get to reuse it. New thrust washer. The last clip. There we go. And the spacer. And the bearings. There it is. These are all the parts that I've changed out. Bearings, chains, sprockets, all the gears I left in it. Okay, so we took a little hiatus, had some stuff to do around the shop, but we're back for assembly. Start this off, I'm going to put the final drive with the high range chain on first. I'll put it in here first. Might just set it in there for now because it all has to mesh. And if you remember when I took it off, this was the first thing to come off. I pulled it out of that case. So I pulled it out of that case in reverse, but the reason I'm putting it in this case first is because this little key and what do they call this? The shift, not the shift indicator, the shift indexer. Yeah, the indexer, that's what it is. So yeah, it lets you know all your, so it'd be like what? I'd have to look, but yeah, probably park, or not park, low range, reverse, neutral, high range. Low, reverse, neutral, high, yeah. I just cheated and looked at the hood. Alright, let's try to get these bad boys in here now. Okay. This could be fun. Alright, we'll slide it onto the shifting. Come on, baby. Oh. Alright, pass the gear. Now I gotta mesh with the low range gear. Get it over the sprocket. Ow! That was my finger. Yes. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I should have enough slack to slide everything over and in. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. I really should have blocked this up a little better, but that's okay. Alright, we were so close. I'm a little reluctant to give it some taps. I'm just kind of hoping it would fall in there itself. Oh, there we go. All right. So that shaft. There's that one. Judo chop. Yeah, I'd say everything's settled. We are together. If you noticed, I didn't put any of the seals in because last time I did this, I wrecked one of them. I couldn't, the shafts didn't want to line up. They kept pushing, like they wouldn't go nicely into the seal. They kept pushing the seals out when I tried to push the shaft through. So we'll put those on after. You don't need much. Basically this stuff's just gonna sip into all the little cracks and crevices. take a little bit of finessing, but yeah, there we go. All right, all the surfaces have mated. All right. Jam some bolts in here. All right, let's put the shifting rod linkage on, or linkage adapter, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Where's that bolt? Right there. All right, so there's neutral. That's high range, I believe. Yeah, that's high range, neutral, reverse. Oh yeah. Low range. Alright, I got my seal. I got my special socket / seal installing tool. A little bit of grease. Now you see what a pain in the ass this is. How much of a pain in the ass it would have been to try and do it with the seals in there, trying to put those shafts in there. There we go. Alright, oh, that's not even square. I gotta pull it up a little bit. Nope. So that one. Pre-stretch it out a little bit, see if that'll help. See if that'll do anything.